Kulunka. Welcome back. If you haven't watched part 1 of this story, please click on the link in the description below. Now let's begin. After RAIMA, the elder sister, went to the underwater palace of her husband.
And now,
SAIMA, the younger sister, was left behind in deep sorrow and loneliness. Remembering her sister's final words, SAIMA set out on a journey, guided by RAIMA's advice, to find a banyan tree near a road, climb it, and sing a song of fate. After wandering through the forest for some time, she discovered a banyan tree growing beside a road deep within the jungle. Climbing up the tree, she sat on a strong branch and began to sing. "If I cannot give birth to 7 sons, then I am not a woman." She repeated this line again and again, her voice echoing through the quiet forest. As fate would have it, 3 royal soldiers were passing by that very path. They heard her song and were struck by the words. Their king, though married to many queens, had no heir to the throne. Hearing SAIMA's bold claim, the soldiers approached the tree and asked her if she truly believed she could give birth to 7 sons. SAIMA calmly replied, "Yes, I can." The soldiers, amazed and hopeful, invited her to come with them to meet the king. She agreed, descended from the banyan tree, and walked with them to the palace. Upon arrival, SAIMA was presented before the king. He asked her the same question, if she could truly bear sons for him. Without hesitation, SAIMA answered yes, and the king married her. SAIMA became one of the queens. After many days and nights with the king, SAIMA finally encountered a joyous moment: she became pregnant. News of the pregnancy brought great happiness to the king, for now, he would at last have an heir. But this news stirred envy in the hearts of the other queens. SAIMA became an eyesore, and jealousy brewed within the palace walls. As the days passed and her labor approached, the king had to leave the palace on royal matters. This absence became the perfect opportunity for the jealous queens to execute their cruel plan. On the day SAIMA went into labor, the other queens took her to the birthing chamber and bribed the midwife. When SAIMA gave birth to 7 beautiful sons, the midwife silently replaced them with 7 kittens and threw the infants into a nearby pond. When the king returned, excited to see his newborn heirs, he was shocked and horrified to see 7 kittens in the place of sons. Overcome with anger and shame, he believed the deception and ordered that SAIMA be exiled to a far-off forest, bound by ropes and left to perish. Heartbroken and betrayed, SAIMA obeyed without protest. She was taken deep into the jungle and tied to trees, left to wither away in silence. But fate had another plan. The 7 babies didn't die. They were saved by RAIMA, SAIMA's elder sister, who still lived in the underwater palace with her husband, the Python Prince. RAIMA raised the children with love and care beneath the waters. Every day at noon, the 7 princes would rise to the surface of the pond and play, laughing and running around. The king began to notice them. Intrigued by their familiarity and inexplicable bond, he grew more curious with each passing day. But whenever he tried to approach, the boys would vanish beneath the water. One day, the king ordered his guards to capture the mysterious children. When they were brought to the royal court, he asked them who they were. The boys replied, "We are your sons, born of Queen SAIMA, thrown into the pond by our stepmothers." The court fell silent. The king was stunned. Realizing the terrible injustice he had committed, he was overwhelmed with guilt. Without delay, he ordered SAIMA to be brought back to the palace and the deceitful queens to be exiled. The royal guards marched to the forest, and when they found SAIMA, their eyes filled with tears. She had grown weak, thin, and frail, barely recognizable. They fell at her feet and begged her to return. But SAIMA, broken by betrayal, refused to come back. The guards returned in sorrow and reported to the king. Determined, the king himself journeyed to the forest and pleaded with SAIMA. Yet, she remained still and silent, her heart too shattered to forgive. Then, without warning, SAIMA ran toward a nearby cliff and jumped off. The king rushed to stop her, but he was too late. Unable to bear the weight of his guilt and sorrow, he too jumped after her, joining SAIMA in the tragic
end. The river where SAIMA fell is called SAIMA, and the river where RAIMA drowned herself is called RAIMA. Later, these 2 rivers merged together to form the Gomati River. Gomati is the largest river in Tripura and is often regarded as a sacred river in the state. The legend of RAIMA and SAIMA has been gracefully passed down through generations, woven into the cultural tapestry of Tripura by its people. The story of fate, love, sorrow and betrayal ends here. For more such interesting stories, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.
Humbai.